I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Samir Goel. He is co-founder and co-CEO at Esusu. Samir, wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Judy, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, before we get started, just a quick note to our viewers. This interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Samir, tell me, what is Esusu?
Yeah, great question. So at Esusu, what we do is we partner with large real estate owners, and we really provide three services. The first is when renters pay rent on time, we report that data to the credit bureaus so that renters can build and establish credit the same way that homeowners can. Secondly, when people fall behind on rent, we pair them with 0% interest loans paid to the landlord. And then we tie it all together with some renter-facing resources like financial literacy content.
Okay. All right, so how have you been able to scale what seems like a simple idea into a unicorn company that is both making money and improving lives?
Great question. So at Esusu, one of the things that we believe in is that doing well and doing good is not mutually exclusive. And the way that manifests in our business is we really create a win-win. And what that looks like is obviously for the renters, when they report rental data into the credit bureaus, they can build and establish credit. But for landlords, it actually drives up on-time payments, improves collections, and is a marketing amenity that they can sort of advertise. And so as a result of that, it really is something that naturally scales, everyone benefits, and it becomes a no-brainer for all stakeholders.
All right, so tell me, what have been some of the highlights of Esusu's last 5 years, and what's coming up next? And are there any major milestones or announcements that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's been exciting about Esusu is when we started, we really had to defend our right to exist. And so what I mean by that is people would ask us, hey, why are you doing what you're doing? Why does this matter? And what really inspires me today is that doesn't happen anymore. Most of the time when we talk to customers, they acknowledge what we're doing, they see the value, and they want to be a part of it. And so fundamentally, we've shifted this to an industry norm. When I think about highlights, there's a couple that come to mind. One is we've announced collaborations with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, the government-sponsored entities. What that means is they're actually helping subsidize our services for our partners, which make it more economically viable to implement our product. Another exciting update is that we launched our renters marketplace. So that way renters can have access to financial literacy content and other tools and resources to progress their financial lives.
All right, so it's April Financial Literacy Month. Tell me, how does improving financial literacy among consumers contribute to your business model? And what is Esusu doing to support this endeavor?
Well, Judy, I actually have a personal tie to this one. I grew up in an immigrant family from New Delhi, India. And unfortunately, our journey to America was just harder than it should have been. And what I saw was how difficult it was for my parents as new immigrants to navigate the financial system, a lack of understanding of credit, basic financial resources. And inspired by that and my co-founders' experiences, we actually were inspired to launch Esusu. And so the way that we do that here at Esusu is we like to take our renters on a journey. Phase 1 and 2 is really all around financial identity and financial stability, which I call leveling the playing field. But really where we want to get to is financial wellness and ultimately helping people create wealth. And in order to do that, we need people to have the right education, tools, and resources to take control of their own destinies. And so I can't understate the importance of financial education for our renters. And the way we do that is we have a la carte resources, or essentially resources that our renters can access at their discretion to educate themselves, to invest in their financial futures. And it's something that we want to continue to develop over time at Esusu.
All right, well, Samir, wonderful to talk with you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thanks so much for having me.